And the morning after, I was, as always, early to rise.
How late are you open?
Sitting silently in a calm kitchen while the day's first light woke our world. My eyes heard nothing, and my eyes were surprised at the sight of her walking through the doorway nearly naked. She deliberately paid no attention to my presence, almost floating through the room to herself, humming a tune, that I myself couldn't place. Those beautiful blue eyes avoiding me while mine watched her arm lift a pot of hot bliss and pour her coffee topless. I greeted her with good morning, but I may as well have been a ghost. Every action I made drew no response until a curl appeared at the corner of those lips. A failed attempt at expressing a smile. A grin that tried so hard to be when she saw me stop scrolling, set my phone down, and stand up and step around behind her. Letting my warm, playfully agitated breath crawl across her bare shoulders and summon every hair, not just on her skin there, and call them all to attention. The kissing became feral as she frantically unbuttoned his pants, shoving her hand past the elastic and then across skin peppered with the slight bristle left after a recent shaving. She grabbed his freshly firmed flesh with authority, moving kisses from his lips over a cheek and placing her lips on his neck. She licked, sucked, and let go before she sank her teeth in. He winced and gasped, feeling his blood curdle and his soul grow dark, somehow knowing he would never again stand in the warmth of the sun. But if he was to be hers, he would gladly give up the light for a life with her in the night. A late summer darkness consumed the sky as the constellations came out of hiding. She lay him back on the warmth radiating from the concrete of the patio. Her hand found his pants and began to unzip them at a painfully slow pace. As he strained and pushed against them, once released, she brought her lips to meet him before taking him deeply into her mouth, both becoming wetter each time her face met the jeans that he was standing through. Upon letting him go, she remarked how beautiful his vein-heavy form looked shimmering in the moonlight. Then she straddled him, speaking of how convenient it was that she wasn't wearing anything under her sundress. She grinned a smile that may have very well only existed to her, but she repeatedly took him. Her knees scuffed themselves against the pavement, eventually bringing the sting of broken skin as he began to tense inside of her. Another smile graced her face as the groans she was determined to hear made their way past his lips, all while the stars in the night sky above them began to fall one after another, literally dying to get a closer look.
Wow.
We danced barefoot in the grass as the moon sat high, arms entangled, lips planted so that tongues could taste the salty sweat of summer skin. Bodies starved for one another as her breasts were compressed tightly against me by the strength of our embrace. Fireflies drifted around us in swarms, signaling and blowing chartreuse kisses to the delight of their lovers who adored them from the ground. She was mine, they were theirs, and we all turned and twirled to the applause of century-old trees who were smiling at the sight of our young love. Her cheek nestled into the warmth of his blanket while she lifted an eager backsucker. His hands found their way from the backs of bent knees and moved higher. Fingers pushed into the flesh covering her beautiful behind before spreading and placing his kiss within the division he had created. Kisses landed upon her hidden places the same way autumn's colored leaves would devote themselves to the ground.
Wow.
And I'll do one more here. Using only white and the brush in his hand, he painted the skin she offered with ecstasy. Her face, her chest, her uplifted ass. She wasn't a canvas, a curated collection, or even an entire gallery. The way she smiled when wearing him. The way her soul could somehow be seen when what she brought from him was donned on her skin as a sheen. Not a single item, but the sum of each individual part. She was not one thing, she was everything. She was art. Thinking around as I walk, the silence of the pre-dawn. Each cumulus reflects the high-pressure sodium glow of the city that they blanket. Many are still in slumber. Meanwhile, I awake with thoughts of my lover, causing visions of an unseen and unconscious beauty to meander through my mind. Oh, to see her, to fill my nose with the raw scent of her body as she drifts from dream to dream, to inhale the air from under blankets as she shifts to her side and pulls the covers to her chin, to be the first thing that she sees at daylight, opening her sleepy eyes to a blue room full of sunrise, to be the good morning she reciprocates as she sits, groans, and stretches, but I am miles away. She approached him on all fours, reserved, observant, a stray who desperately needed food. He filled her mouth with flavors that had only resided in the darkest corners of her imagination. His touch, his hands leading to places she was at one time hesitant of intrusion, but now as his kitten she welcomed him. Sensations forced her backside high into the air as she stroked his pant leg with her cheek and uncontrollably purred at his feet.
Spicy.
Sometimes when he stopped and held still, she could still feel the burning grip on her hips and the dull sensation of what filled her. She buried her face in the pillowcase, and from time to time, although it wasn't possible, she would daydream of a miracle. The seed he pushed so deep, taking root in her, watching her tummy grow, her breasts beginning to ache as the days seemed to flutter by on butterfly wings. Sometimes, even after he collapsed, exhausted next to her, she would keep her back end high and make it stay, clenching her body to hold on to what he spilled into her, dreaming about becoming a mother for him. Porcelain skin, a blank canvas that begged for color. Impacts and grabbing left the visual impression of a flowering garden comprised of distorted pastel handprints. Hundreds of hands blanketed her, providing a weightless duvet of pink upon her fair complexion. When all is done, she stands in front of the mirror and smiles at what she has become. All she sees are the cherry blossoms of May, while the springtime that brought them to bloom silently dreams underneath the softest of sheets behind her. I'll do one more here. I gotta scratch the side of this one. The linens were soft and French against her skin. She lay comfortably with her legs draped over the side of the bed and turned her head to smile at her lover. The sheets were so cool against the side of her face as he approached. Strong hands lifted her ankles before parting and kneeling between them. His lips kissed the outer and his tongue tasted the insides of her body. As he did, a warm breeze entered the room from the open window at his back. The scent of lilac swirled and mixed with the aroma of the ever-dampening woman under his nose. He breathed, and his lungs exhaled a moan softly, and it traveled from his mouth onto and into the flesh he was savoring. This was the springtime he had endured winter for.